4 years ago, the world became obsessed with one courtroom. Millions stopped what they were doing to watch Johnny Depp and Amber Heard wage a brutal public war that blurred the line between entertainment, justice, and spectacle. When the verdict came down, Johnny Depp emerged victorious, celebrated by fans across the globe, while Amber Heard disappeared from Hollywood almost overnight, retreating to a quiet life far from flashing cameras and screaming headlines. To the public, it looked like the final chapter had already been written. But behind the scenes, the conflict never truly ended. It only went silent. Now, in 2026, shocking new developments, hidden alliances, and explosive industry whispers are dragging this story back into the spotlight, with even higher stakes than before. And what is happening behind closed doors could change both of their futures forever. Amber Heard's secret comeback plan. Picture this: a quiet, sun-soaked street in Madrid. No cameras, no paparazzi. No red carpets, just a woman walking alone, rebuilding her life from scratch in a city that did not know her name the way America did. For nearly 4 years, that was Amber Heard's entire existence. She did not give interviews, she did not post on social media, she did not call her Hollywood agents. She simply disappeared and took her daughter with her into that quiet, anonymous life. But something shifted the moment she turned 40, because sources close to the actress have now revealed that she has been moving quietly but purposefully behind the scenes. Secret flights have been booked, closed-door pitch meetings with independent producers have been happening in cities far from the Hollywood spotlight. Conversations about scripts that could reintroduce her to the world on her own terms have been taking place in private dining rooms and boutique hotel lobbies across Europe. She is not trying to walk back onto a major studio lot like nothing happened. She is being calculated, strategic, and patient, which, if anything, shows just how much she has grown since the chaos of 2022. The problem? Hollywood has a long, cold, and utterly unforgiving memory. Major studios are still terrified of triggering the massive wave of online backlash that follows her name like a permanent storm cloud. Every door she knocks on opens just a crack, and then slams shut again before she can get her foot through. The road back to the A-list is proving far harder, far lonelier, and far more exhausting than she ever imagined it would be. Johnny Depp's unstoppable comeback. While Amber was quietly knocking on locked doors in European cities, Johnny Depp was back in America, doing something else entirely. He was kicking those doors wide open. And the moment he walked back into the Hollywood spotlight, the industry erupted in a way that no one, not even his most loyal supporters, had fully predicted. At CinemaCon, the most powerful gathering of studio executives and theater owners in the entire country, Depp made an entrance that the industry will not forget for years. He was not simply welcomed back into the fold. He was celebrated, cheered, given a standing ovation, treated, in every meaningful sense of the word, like a returning king who had conquered exile and come home stronger. And the announcement he carried with him into that room was enormous. He is officially starring as Scrooge in the highly anticipated Christmas film Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol, sharing the screen with two of cinema's most universally respected legends, Ian McKellen and Daisy Ridley. As if that were not enough to permanently cement his comeback, his gritty new action thriller, Daydreamer, has already locked in full major studio backing and serious award season buzz. Let that sink in for a full moment. The man that the industry once blacklisted, publicly canceled, and quietly wrote off entirely is now headlining two of the most talked about films of the entire year. He did not just survive the trial, he weaponized it. He used the verdict as a launching pad straight back to the very top of the Hollywood food chain. And as his star rockets back to its former heights, the chasm between his trajectory and Amber Heard's is growing wider, deeper, and more painful with every single passing day, which is precisely why the internet has reignited, and precisely why the 2026 proxy war has officially begun. The documentary that changed everything. But here is where this story takes the kind of sharp, unexpected turn that nobody in Hollywood saw coming. because just when it seemed like the narrative had been permanently settled, Depp on top, Heard on the outside, Amber found an unexpected stage. And she used it in a way that sent genuine shockwaves rippling through the entire entertainment world. Earlier this year, at the prestigious Sundance Film Festival, a bold and unflinching new documentary titled Silenced premiered to a packed, completely breathless audience. And for the first time since the trial ended in 2022, Amber Heard appeared on a screen. Not as a fictional character, not as an actress performing a role, but as herself. Raw, unguarded, emotional. In a rare confessional moment that immediately went viral across every single social media platform on the internet, she looked directly into the camera and said quietly, "This is not about me. I have lost my ability to speak." Those 12 words cracked something open in the public conversation that 4 years of silence had sealed shut. The documentary makes a fierce, deeply uncomfortable argument that powerful men in Hollywood routinely weaponize massive defamation lawsuits specifically to financially destroy and permanently silence the women who dare to speak against them. Suddenly, millions of people who had firmly and confidently made up their minds began rereading old legal documents, re-examining court testimony they had previously dismissed, and asking uncomfortable questions they had never once thought to ask. TikTok exploded overnight. Twitter fractured into furious, heated debate that spilled into every corner of the internet. The conversation that the world assumed was buried permanently in 2022 clawed its way back to the surface. Louder, messier, and far more morally charged than it had ever been before. The industry caught in the crossfire. Now, Hollywood finds itself trapped in a position that no studio executive, no producer, and no entertainment lawyer would wish upon their worst enemy. With both Depp and Heard fighting aggressively for relevance at the exact same moment in 2026, major players in the industry are walking a razor-thin tightrope and visibly, palpably terrified of falling on either side. Cast Amber Heard in your film? Prepare for an immediate, highly organized boycott campaign from Depp's enormous and fiercely loyal internet fanbase, a group that has demonstrated repeatedly and with devastating effectiveness that it can tank a project before it even reaches theaters. Publicly and loudly support Johnny Depp? Brace yourself for an equally fierce and equally organized wave of criticism from domestic violence advocates and women's rights organizations, accusing your corporation of participating directly in the systemic silencing of abuse survivors. There is no safe middle ground available. Every casting decision carries consequences. Every public statement becomes a political act with real-world implications. The 2026 rematch is not happening inside a courtroom in Fairfax, Virginia this time around. It is playing out on streaming charts, box office scoreboards, studio boardrooms, and the furious comment sections of every entertainment publication on the internet. This is not simply about two famous actors fighting over professional legacy anymore. It is about who gets to control the narrative in an era when social media gives every single person with a smartphone the power to influence the outcome. And in that kind of battle, it is never truly, permanently over. 4 years later, the battle between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard still refuses to fade into Hollywood history. What began as a courtroom spectacle became something far bigger. Cultural divide that exposed how quickly fame, public opinion, and media narratives can reshape a person's entire legacy. Johnny Depp continues to rebuild his empire with loyal fans standing behind him at every step, while Amber Heard fights to reclaim her voice and redefine her future on her own terms. And as new projects, interviews, and public reactions continue to emerge, the world keeps watching to see who ultimately wins the long game in Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight. So now we want to hear from you. Who do you believe truly came out on top in this saga? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.